Hello and welcome back to the Blade of Akai channel. You are watching Star Citizen, and 2.6 is now a release candidate for live. So this is apparently 2.6 live. What I'm going to take a look at today is the caterpillar in more of a close inspection. As you may already be aware, I created a caterpillar video, but it was more kind of to show off, you know, how good the engine is and the tech is that Cloud Imperium have been building for the last few years. So in this video, we're just going to pay a little bit more attention to the ship itself. I think before I step inside, what I want to have a look at is the weapons and stuff that's on the ship. Now, I see a weapon there, but there's no customization point on it. I also see a weapon here. Now those look like fairly small weapons. I would say even as low as size 1s. They might be size 2s, but I think they're size 1s. Now the interesting thing is those weapons are not customizable from here, and they're also not customizable from the new ship loadout screen. You look at this gun. That looks similar. It looks fairly similar. Must be the same manufacturer. So this is an M6A. Maybe this is an M1A. I don't know. Anyway, so you've got this lower turret which has two M6As on it, and then there's an upper turret. Where is that? Down the front there. And that also has, I'm not going to go all the way over there, that also has two M6As. This ship itself is just a fantastic looking ship. You see, that looks like a weapon as well, but it's probably more like an antenna or something for some reason. The prongs on the front are kind of sensors, parking sensors, apparently. There's some thrusters here, look. There and there. Now, all of these doors open up, as you may already be aware. This is the command module, just here. And then we move to the back of the ship, and we've got kind of engineering and stuff all in there. And here you have one of the engines, and the other engine the other side. And then you've got some more engines here, or main thrusters, however you want to call them. Now there are a couple of points, customization points, just up here somewhere. Quite difficult to see from outside. They kind of appear and disappear depending on, yeah, they were just over there. There you go. So we've got the two coolers there. One and oh, and they've gone again. Okay. They don't want to play at all. Some fairly substantial landing feet that all retract. All of these retract, going down the sides of the ship, which is quite fun to watch. We've got the entry elevator here. There's a little bit of a bug. If I just spin round, I'm not moving up and down with my mouse. I'm just keeping it on the horizontal, and it does this weird kind of jerk to the left, which might be something to do with the foot movement algorithm, animation, sorry, which is causing it to do that, but I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, let's get ourselves up into the craft. So, this is the elevator room, and if we move back into the lower hallway, we've got engineering access. In here we have, I don't know what these are. I cannot remember what these are. This is the engineering console. Use engineer station. We've got a ladder which takes us to the upper deck. And then you've got stairway access which also takes us to the upper deck. I think these might actually be the coolers, but I'm not 100% sure on that. What's that say? It just says access point on it. So this is the real back end of the ship. This is the jump drive, and this is the power plant in here, and we've got upper hallway access there. This is the server room. They both come out at the same point, so I'm going to go through the server room. So this is for, you know, conveying data around. Should that be, you know, a mission you want to undertake. I mean, it kind of is a crossover with the Drake Herald, but you know, it's a Drake ship at the end of the day, so perhaps that's a common theme that runs throughout. Here we have the central hallway, which takes us to the command unit module and the tractor access module. There's that hallway to the staircase again. This is the tractor control area. I really don't know what this is for. So if you know, please jot it down in the comments, because I don't know what tractor means in this. Is this tractor beams? Is it talking about module management? I don't understand. What does it mean in this context? Anyway, moving across, we've got the command access. As you can see, there's still a little bit of a lighting issue. You can see this kind of white light is blanching the environment, but it should look like this most of the time. And we've got here, and we know we're going into another module because you've got a double door going on and quite a thick border between. And this is the command module. So in here we've got co-pilot seat and the pilot seat. It doesn't like you moving up here at the moment. Perhaps they'll fix that. But yeah, sometimes when you stand it, yeah, there you go, it just pushes you to the left when you don't want to. Let's pop in the pilot seat quickly, and the shields are on. Okay. So we've got the Drake voice, which I believe is new. I think it's new. Anyway, we've got several screens on here. Now the central 5 screens are fairly readable. I don't know how you interact with them. I tried already. I'm not sure how we get control over that. This is your targets screen. However, the problem with it is it's so far out to the right, it's unreadable. So that needs to be curved in more, as does the kind of weapon power shield management screen over here. Again, that's pretty unreadable. Even when you zoom into the max. So yeah, both those outer screens need to be brought in, made bigger maybe, because they contain a lot of fiddly data. Just a recommendation. Let's get out of the seat. Visibility's kind of okay, but that's, you know, with the caveat that obviously the craft is in the way throughout. But there is a purpose to this design, in that this whole segment is supposed to be able to split away and become you know, its own concern. You've got 2 extra seats here. I'm not sure what they're supposed to be able to allow you to do right now. They've both got screens. I would hazard a guess that perhaps they're more shield management or something like that. Other than that, the only other thing I could think of is there's some kind of cargo function that might pop up on those screens. Who knows? Anyway, there's a ladder in here, so we're going to go down, and we'll just jump straight down. We've got some piping. There's some nice lagging on a lot of the pipes in here. It looks pretty damn cool. We've got a shower unit in here. Now what I have noticed is in the command module there's no toilet. Okay, so I am hazarding a guess that this is where we're supposed to do our business. But you know, if we're in this ship on its own, I think it's probably because we're in a state of emergency, so having to go for number 1s and number 2s in the shower unit is probably just out of necessity. We've got, I think this is a hob. I think this is where we cook. Obviously a sink. We've got 4 beds in here. Now there's 8 beds in total in the ship. Now someone raised this on one of my other videos, and said, you know, there are 8 beds in the ship. What are the roles of the ship? Now, yes, there are 8 beds in total. However, if this module splits away, there are only 4 beds, which means the 4 beds in the main ship are just merely replicated here. So the crew complement really should be 4, not 8. So yeah, that's something to consider. So if you're going to bring 8 people along, just consider that you know, if you have to split away from the main ship, if that is actually functionality they're going to provide in the game, because I don't know that they're going to do that yet, then you're going to have 4 people without a bed. Just consider that. Here's one of these benches. Okay, there's another one in the main ship. We'll see that shortly. But no one is getting in and sitting at that, because there's just not enough room to get in and get your legs in at least comfortably. Okay, so that could do with a tweak, really. I think the bench needs, you know, the actual table unit needs lifting up a little bit to provide a bit more access. That way I can see the animation working a bit better. We also have an outer door here, but this is non-functional right now. If it will ever be functional, I don't know. If this becomes something that can split away from the main ship in the game, then this, I imagine, will become functional. We've also got another engineering station here. This is exactly the same type of screen as the one at the back. However, it's non-interactable right now. So again, if this part of the ship is supposed to stay with the rest of the ship the entire time within the game, then I imagine that screen will never become functional, because, you know, this whole area would be here just, you know, for aesthetic. Let's go back up. Okay, back through to the central hallway and down to EVA access, and in here we have a hatch which can take us up and out, but this hatch does not function right now. We've got basically module access here, and this is the top gantry right now. Let me just check I haven't missed anything over here. No, there's no doors going off that way. That's right. Okay, so from here we can now walk through all of the modules. We can also control the doors from up here. There we go, there's that door open and that door open. There was a slight bug where if you actioned both of them at the same time but only looked at one, the other one would stop going down properly, but that seems to be fixed now. So we can carry on down to the end. All of these modules are pretty much the same. Let's move on through, all the same, until you get to the end here. Now if we look at the door, this says turret access, so this is our top level turret. And we've also got a control for the rear cargo bay, which opens thusly. A nice animation there, all pushes out and then opens out. So the turret itself drops down and then we get pushed back up, pretty much similar to, you know, other turrets. There we go. I'm not sure why we're now pointing... Oh, we're pointing forward now? I think the ship has moved. Yeah, so the visibility in here is somewhat limited because of these kind of bulky side windows where the guns are. But then obviously the guns would provide a block to the view anyway. Let's get out of here. There's a bug that's still there. When you exit some of the terminal seats and the turrets, you get a hologram of the ship for a brief moment. Anyway, let's go back into this module, go down the stairs, the ladder even, and then back out to the cargo bay, and then from here we can see, whoa, not too far, you can see that says parking sensor and that sensor system. So yeah, it's all part of the parking sensor. We can close this up. This door comes back to about here where the caution line says. And then we can head back through the ship, through all the modules. I mean, this is all very well done. This is arguably, in my opinion, one of the best ships they've done so far. But there you go. Here's the other 4 beds. And, you know, the main living space, really. I've got another hob over here. Another sink. We actually have the can in here. But where's the shower? There's no shower in this one. That's interesting. So we've got a toilet but no shower. Okay. So both these doors go through to elevator access. But you have to bear in mind, if this lift is down, you'll need to go through the other door if you want to get to the front of the ship. Unless you're very good at making that jump. So in the lower hallway, and then into engineering access again. And this is the lower turret, so we'll finish on this. So the seat pops up from below. We sit in it, and then we're spun around like a fairground ride. And there we are. We're now having all the blood rush to our head. So once again, we've got a limited view with these 2 side panels, but the rest is kind of okay. Right. So that's that. It's basically coming out with 4 M6A weapons. There's the 2 other weapons on the main command module, but we don't really know what's going on there. There's a slight bug there that the door doesn't open as the turret is binning you out, so that door really should open up straight away, just so that doesn't happen anymore. And we'll take a look at the engineering terminal while we're here. It looks like I'm getting seated here. Let's have a look. And oh, we can see all the kind of the damage layer of the ship now. I can't seem to get out. There we go. No, I am stood up. He just gets a bit closer and makes a bit of a meal out of it. Okay, so yeah, something's not quite right there. Having changed view, I think it's messed things up, but you know, there's the engineering terminal, so we can manage power distribution and things like that. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for the Caterpillar, mainly going through the interior and going through the functions and whatnot. Obviously, you know, its main purpose is to haul cargo of sorts. You know, what you're going to be carrying is largely down to you, because this can be used for pirating, or it can be used for, you know, good uses. But overall, I think this is one of the best ships yet. You know, by the sheer fact that, you know, it's got all of this operative stuff inside it. You know, all these cargo bay doors, the elevators, the 2 turrets, the engineering terminals, the design with the asymmetrical design with the command module off to one side. It's just brilliant. It really is. It's a very nice looking ship. For the most part, the textures are looking pretty good. There are some things which make it still look a bit gamey. Some of the other ships have got things squared away a lot more, I would say. Certainly the original Cutlass looks pretty damn good with its kind of metal look, bodywork, but this doesn't quite meet it. It just looks, well, it's just like a dirty white at the moment, but it looks like it's supposed to be the silver, but it's just not quite, it's not quite there. But that could be me just expecting way too much. Now if we look at this, you take a look at the command module, right, and you think in your mind Drake Herald. That's what's going on here. That is basically a heavily modified Drake Herald in there, isn't it? They've used the Drake Herald double engine deal and then put a more extensive chassis on it. But we'll have a look at the Drake Herald in the next episode. So I think without further ado we need to take this thing out and experience it in, say, Vandal Swarm or even Pirate Swarm. Okay, we are in Pirate Swarm now. And one thing I would say about this ship, even though lengthwise it's longer than a Starfarer, I would say, it handles way better, it has to be said. Let's get some thrust on. Oh, I haven't locked gimbals yet. So yeah, it does handle a bit boat-like still. But that's to be expected, really. It is a big ship. But it does turn pretty well considering the size of the ship that it is. I think from the first time I flew this, they have modified it a little bit. Because it did actually fly even kind of smoother than not smoother, but you know, it was a bit more nimble than this right now. So I think they have adjusted it a little bit. But essentially it's a nice ship to fly, and better than the Starfarer, it has to be said. But the Starfarer is a bigger mass. Let's be fair to it. It is a much bigger ship. While not as long, it's definitely got more mass. I say that, I haven't looked up the figures, but I'm pretty sure it is a bigger ship mass-wise. Now I did expect these weapons to make a bit more of mincemeat out of the enemies in the swarms, but I think the main issue is actually hitting the target. Okay, he missiled him. Yeah, so pretty good to fly. Let's have a look at her from outside. We have to get into this camera. There we are. She is a beauty. She definitely is. Oh, hang on. We're being attacked already. Is it? He's gone a bit too far away now. The thing is, I don't know where the guns are firing from. Yeah, see, the guns that are firing... Look, there's another turret on top of the command module. Do you see that? And zoom in, look. Alright, that's as far as I can go.
Contact. Elite units en route.
Let's bring it to a halt. So left click is the guns at the bottom, right click is the guns at the top. None of those are the size, the M6As, which are on the manned turrets. But the only ones we can configure right now are the manned turrets. So don't bother trying to configure this ship at the moment, because it's a waste of time, because you're not configuring the guns that you'll actually be firing with. So that's why, when I've been fighting in Swarm, we've not been doing that much damage. Let's turn this one around. And boost off this way. It can take a fair amount of punishment, it has to be said. But I think sustained damage from people in the persistent universe, I don't think it will hold up to it. If we do that, we can see all of the damaged hull Look at that. My engines are light. And the rest of the bodywork is... it's pretty much done. Look at it. All the doors are gone on the front. and they're right the way through, although I think that's an LOD thing. We're not actually supposed to be able to see in there. So there's a little buglet going on. I'm going to hit the boundary because I've got no control over the ship anymore. Anyway, I'm going to stop the Vandal right now, and we're just going to take a quick look at the ship loadout screen. There we go, ship customization, this handy little button down here, and we just need, oh, we've got the Caterpillar sorted already. Now you can see here, look, the command module, nothing is showing up. Right? Nothing is there. Nothing at all. So the only things we can modify are the turrets at the moment. And those are equipped with M6As, so we aren't really getting much bigger than that. I guess you could put some ballistics on there. It has to be said that in 2.6 I have not tried turret combat yet, but to date, you know, playing around in the turrets has been a very sketchy experience so far. Hopefully they've made some, you know, progress on that, and I'll need to test that in a, maybe I'll do another video on it. We'll see. But yeah, we need to try that out. Anyway, this has been the Drake Caterpillar. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit like, share and subscribe, and I shall see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching, and bye bye for now.